Hello, this is a Django tutorial. Today I'm going to show you a crude application which is built on Django web framework. Well, I have created this tutorial just by following some simple tutorial from the online, but I'm going to introduce it again because those uh, programmer who love Django, I think they will be benefited from this tutorial, as I would like to focus on some features. Okay, let's introduce the site which I created. That is the overall web page, and the menu is create, contact and show. Basically I'll focus on the create and show. This is a very basic code application, so I don't want to demonstrate the whole things, but I'm sure you guys who loves Django will be happy to know some issues such as URLs and how to copy a running website and use it in your own application using a template, and some other issue like how you can make a form, crispy form, and how to insert records and show, and some basic style, specifically Bootstrap. Although I don't like Bootstrap too much, but it's really user-friendly interface and easy to use in your application. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I use both text editor. One is called Code, Visual Studio Code. Another is called Sublime. Sublime is very professional text editor which shows some advanced facility. So it could be a different tutorial. Watch text editor would be give you much more flexibility. So let's get started. This is my whole project structure, and you see that under my CRUD project, this is the CRUD project. Under this CRUD project I created my CRUD app application, where all the files, admins.py, forms.py, models.py, URLs, views, these are the whole thing I'm going to explain. And so what I'll try to help you that from the beginning what I did, I actually followed this template from this website. Let's show that which website I copied this template. It's called Colorleap website. Colorleap is very is a very basic and some free template you can download over here. Whatever template you like, just go to Colorleap and find your free theme here, and you're gonna discover many theme, and I just use one of them. That's it. So I'm not going to drop till the everything, just show the basics so that you can have this idea. And if you have any query, just under this video on the comment section, just put your comment, and inshallah I'll reply. Okay, so this is the template actually, and what the things you need to set up here is called settings.py. settings. Okay, oh yes, it's called setting.py actually. So where is it? Under the code project you see the settings.py. So or from in the setting.py section is all the Django stuffs, where the Django websites URL. I'm not going to explain everything because this is very pretty basic, and the things you need to look for installed app section. You see the at the end of the line I insert my CRUD app and crispy form. Crispy form is a very is a package, Python package, which will help you to use any stylist CSS like Bootstrap to show to magnify your application design issue. Actually nothing, but if you don't use crispy form, is just show you a basic form which is not gonna glossy. So if you want to make your form appealing, you can use this package. So just pip command, use this pip command, pip install crispy form, that's it. Okay, so this is my app, what I introduced here, my Crud project. Under my Crud is my Crud apps. If you have multiple app like 1 to 10, like my Crud app number 2 3 5 blah blah blah, you just need to attach here under the separated using the comma separator. So after that, all our things should be unchanged, and the template section, you see, especially directory section, I used in the third bracket os.path.join, and the parenthesis base directory comma double quotation templates is a folder name should be here available. Templates you need to create, just like into click the new folder button, and it will help you to create the folder that's called template. So under templates, you need to preserve all the record HTML file such as base.html, home.html, page insert, show, and the all JavaScript file should be resided scripts.html. And DB SQLite is a default attached database in this Django project. If you want to use more database like SQL, MySQL server, or other database, you need to change the database section over here. I'm not going to use other than SQLite 3, so I don't want to go far. So this is the database. The default section is here as name and engine name. So you just probably need to change this section if you don't want to use SQLite 3, maybe SQL Server, Oracle, or another server rather than SQLite 3. So this is the already default settings, so you don't need to change anything. Okay, so last and very crucial settings is static URL. You need to specify this is the folder you need to create from the beginning when you create this project. This is just use this create folder command like template folder. Okay, so and these things should be unchanged. You need to use os.path join base directory static, and static root media root should be media. So you need to create another folder, is called media. Where is the media folder I created? Yeah, this is the media folder I created. Under this media, I also created another folder which is named pics. So perhaps if you have some pictures, if you want to upload some images to the server, I mean database, perhaps this URL will help you to preserve all the pictures. Anyway, so after you need to configure static configuration setting, you need to go to URL section. This is not under Crud app, it should be your project. Under project, you need to go to urls.py section. Here these two lines belongs for all settings, static file folder. Actually I need to explain some basic things, that why we used static configuration, what is the goal of this setting. Actually this term static comes from things if you copy from any template like Colorlib or other free websites. If you use any template, you perhaps have several essential files like CSS, JavaScript, HTML, so etc. So for this static designing styling issue, JavaScript, so these are called static. So once you have the static files copied in your static folder, where is yeah, this is a static folder. So I copied here first of all, then I use some commands. So I have some personal note I can show you where I saved all the things. This is my drive. and under this drive I have a personal docs to help when I start to write any project. It's helped me to remember everything. So this is my personal doc for Django. I just wrote few days ago stepwise so that you can have some basic idea. Yeah, you see that the free template I use from colorleap.com, then some command for environment variable, freeze command to enlist all the package requirement.text, and the command to create this recommended text obviously use pip command. So this is not the things I want to show, you guys may know actually. So I created this site, the Django admin start project, the site name, and blah blah blah, start app for app, create a new app. So this is very pretty basic. So what I try to show you, this is the command, it's called collect static. So once you copy it from any free template in your static folder, which I already explained many things, the static folder, under the static folder you have already all required folders like images, JavaScript, plugins. Oh, font awesome is a pretty nice font which will depict some creative font. I'm gonna love it actually. So all the necessary files should be here under static folder. Then you see that once you copy it, just run this command python space manage.py space collect static. So this is going to help you to copy all the static folder to an asset folder. So you see the asset folder, after running this command is going to create the folder and copy all the required static files to over here. So let's show you where is the asset asset folder director I mentioned here. So I think this is the settings.py. I need to show my project, open editor, my project, and assets and microstatic settings. Yeah, so you see that assets, I see it, I have mentioned here static root should be under base directory, then assets. So that means when you run this command it will create already asset folder and copy the all necessary files automatically. So this is very pretty great features of Django. That's why I love it, that most of the things stuff should be controlled by Django. So once you set everything, your template should be defined. As I already discussed, database should be unchanged here. For PostgreSQL, the programmer who loves PostgreSQL, maybe they use this format: engine name, users, password, host, etc. So after that, URLs is very another things I need to explain. First of all, under the Crud project, this URL would be file would be created, predefined file should be here. But for your app, there are no URLs will be created automatically. So what I do, that just right click, copy, and paste these URL files under your app. So it's brings the all existing feature to the to this one. And what is the philosophy to use URLs? URLs is nothing but the mapping of pages. So this is the page you see, the keyword path, and then two sections. One is called path section, another is called keyword. The reserve Django command, like for admin it will automatically create it for you, but you need to create under this path. And in this situation, my app name is my Crud App, so it should be my Crud App.urls. Include keyword, it comes from Django URLs. You need to integrate here, just include after the path command. So this is empty. It denotes that when they run this site, first it is look for your under app URLs here, the the things which are empty, it will match. And after that is a views from employee underscore home. It is the function name you must define in your view, which I'll show you a few minutes later, a few seconds later actually. And every URL you can use path name for accessing from any kind of links for managing easily. Under this, for insert, I used new entry slash the views name is employee underscore from name from. Okay, so this name is employee insert. So is all a naming convention just for managing easily. To show the records, I use list slash, and this is very crucial that integer colon id it holds for editing and updating issue. You see that the very interesting thing is here the views dot employee underscore from is the same as insert employee underscore from, because when you person try to insert a record, he can also eligible to edit and update for this particular record. I'll show you. And the delete requires also a id. So this is very different method. So that means I have a employee underscore home method, employee underscore from method for inserting data, employee for list just for show the records, employee for from again for updating and editing, and finally employee underscore delete, that is the for deleting purpose when a person would like to delete any records. So this is the method name, and these methods are described in our my views.py. You said the views.py, there are lots of things, but don't worry actually, because I'm going to cut off this piece easy to understand. First of all, this is the library for Django models come from my models, which is here. My models, where is the my models? Let's cut the crap. Under my code project, my code app, you see this is the models. This model is nothing but a class actually. So I have two classes. So first of all, it's called employees. It holds some properties like full name is char field, employee code, which is also char field, mobile number is also char field, length is different 50 20 20, but the positions underscore employee, this field comes from is dependency actually foreign key to may have a relationship for position class. I mean one employee has some position, so this is my position class. You see the position holds the title, the char field, length is 20, and this is the dependency. I mean every employee must have a position, and position is a class. So this is pretty basic, very easy. Two classes have some dependency relationship. And on delete model.cascade means once you delete any field, I mean on any data, so this position should be immediately deleted. So this command will help you to ensure the consistency of the database. So I think you guys are now you understood this models.py. So in views.py, I just inherited all the class names, not all the class, just employee class. So these are the already predefined class. By redirect I used for just redirect once any response is passed, then redirect to any immediate HTML page, use redirect. Render is performing to any web page, you know that. So redirect is render is completely different. Render is perform any web page, a new fresh call, and redirect just redirect from one page to another. The forms I created here, basic employee form. So is a meta is model my class employee. Fulls I can mention underscore all underscore under the single brackets, or either I can use all the necessary full names under the third break. So it's just facility how many column you want to use. And these things pretty complicated but not so sophisticated. I can explain that is init initialization function, self denotes the self class instance, and comma star arcs is holds a pointer like address. And this is very nice features of Django double star kw arcs, which is good when someone want to initialize some basic initialization parameters. So super is called is base class, and the things are I used here for some field like position employee. I initialized is label name select, and I can change the field is required false or true. So this is depends upon you which field should be required, which should be not required. You can initialize in this section. So I think for kw args and args, these are very pretty basic things. This tutorial is not focusing in details in these things. I think this could be another tutorial. So let's jump to the my focusing point where I was in views.py. So these are the forms I inherited my class employee from. So first of all, this is the list method where all data should be come from the SQLite tree. So I used class name dot objects dot all. This is a reserved keyword for Django. It returns the all records from the databases, which context variable will hold the data, and finally it render to the page.show HTML page, and this field context employee list actually this variable will help you to use in the HTML file for loop just to unlock the all data. I will show you. So just think about just retrieving the data and sending this array to the page to just show the record how many data are inserted in your database. This is a very basic method. Home method, just click and show the home page, and I also already show that. This if you go, where is my page? Yes, if you run this project, it should be show. Yes, I am home. This page is running here. So I think it's clear. This just responsible to render the home page. So this is the main function I used implementers from, where it parameters two parameters called request and ID. Initial is 0, means I'm detecting whether the requesting method is get or post. That means if a users are trying to put some records in your database, it shouldn't get. So it's just checking that whether the request method is get or post. If not get, this else command is running here, and post will be recorded here and show directed to the list page. For example, if the page is post, then else command will run here, and if ID is equal to 0, that a post form will be created. If not ID equal to 0, then the record will be collect from the database. Here is a keyword is equal instance equal to employee for editing purpose actually. So the data will be returned to the form. If the form is valid, then it will save and redirect to the list. So very basic, simple, very simple. Whether the post request you is post or get means just reading data some from your database. It could be existing data, and for new entry it treat as post. So if it come here, it will also check for ID equal to 0, that if it is initialized, whether it is edit or just fresh. So it will check over by using ID command. So if ID equal to 0, it will create a post. If not, that means someone is reading the data from the database in your field. This is very common. Just if the form is valid, just save. Once it is saved, let's show the records. So if it is get just for editing purpose, that means not post, then it will create an empty form. Also the same things, business logic I am using, ID is 0 or not. ID means 0 means the initialized first stage actually. If it's not that like that, so it will take the parameter pk primary key and fetch the data corresponding the data, and it holds the employee variable. So pretty simple. An instance is a keyword which will help you to track the specific records, and finally just pass the data like context. It is old-fashioned data passing from JSON data from one page to another page. So write_render page insert context. That means when any users try to visit this page, whether it's a fresh or existing, it will help you to track. For example, if I click here, I click here, so it will show a fresh new page where you can enter, for example, name Mr. Alex, employee code, for example, EMP001, mobile number 00 blah 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 blah, and for position architect. Finally I click the submit button and it shows the record. You see the existing record over here, and this record is the news coming over here. But I'm not a good designer, it shows some edit and some white space. Perhaps it is a delete. Let's try. Yes, it is delete, already gone. But if you would like to edit, I already mentioned over here that if this command is edit, that means get. So then if it's ID, I mean if it is new, or if not is new, if it is existing data, so this data will be run. So these things are happening. If I click edit, you see I can edit. For example, Mr. Alex has a last name Lou. So if I click save, it should become changed Mr. Alex Lou. Let's see the data. Yes, Mr. Alex Lou has been changed. So these things are happening, that edit and update is possible. So finally, once you click the delete, it will fetch the ID and it will match the database primary key ID. Once it is done, that employee will be called delete function. After delete, it will fetch the list, the show. So this is the pretty basic CRUD application. I think you guys enjoy. So have a good day. If you have comment, any query regarding this issue, if I am not a good speaker or anything puzzle, you didn't catch it up clearly, just comment below and I'm ready to answer. Bye bye.